you assess the second half defense over these last two games?
I feel like honestly, as the game goes on, it's not that our play style decreases. It's just kind of a lack of discipline that has led to some extended drives, and then near the end of those drives, I feel like we can definitely work on the conditioning too. I feel like some of those piles get to pushing forward for another 3-4 yards. Those are big yards at the end of the day. Like especially on first down, in offense, the difference between a 2nd and 7, 2nd and 8, and a 2nd and 3 is enormous from what an offensive play caller can call. So yeah, it's just trying to limit those drives, try to get off on third down, all the little things. But and at the end of the day, it comes back to just playing fast, playing as relentless as we can for as long as we can. And yeah, if we can find a way to get off the field early in those drives, we'll be in a lot better situation.
Going after the ball was such a point of emphasis for you guys. When you're reviewing the tape each week, are you seeing those opportunities there, just maybe not happening yet?
I mean, you see them, but I don't feel like they're as prevalent as people say. Sometimes just the opportunities aren't there. Turnovers is a weird thing because sometimes you can just we put more focus on turnovers this year than probably I've ever had in my career. And for them not to show up, it just proves that, sometimes it's just a random thing. It doesn't mean anything's wrong with your process that, you're not getting turnovers. Sometimes just the opportunities aren't, or, maybe an offense is, being taught during the week to really cradle that ball, or, that Micah Parsons coming around the edge, quarterback's probably practicing a little better ball security. So, yeah, the only thing is you just can't let that, deter you from just focusing on the process, right? Just being process-oriented, not really, worry about the results, and feel like we all understand that they're going to come, and when they come, they'll come in bunches.
Will this week be as hard as any, though? Because last year against the Cardinals, I think you had 2 or 3 punch-outs. Do you think they'll be ready for that more than other opponents?
I'm sure they'll have it on the, front of their mind, watching last year's tape, but again, I feel like we can't really worry about how they're, we can't control how they're going to prepare. We can't control, whatever drills they're doing in practice. We just got to know that, when we step on the field, we have to be the more physical, more dominant, and just ball-aware team. And, yeah, that starts with the little things, just practicing those habits in practice, running to the ball, getting out of the stack, and then, when you get there, arriving with violence.
Evan, what's been the preparation been like between Jacoby Brissett and Kyler Murray, given that their skill sets are so different?
Yeah, it is a little difficult sometimes. Today we're, calling out to our DC like, okay, what quarterback is in? Because we don't have the jerseys quite yet. So we got to ask, because that, the scheme of an offense so, heavily relies on, the skill set of your quarterback. And obviously Kyler and Jacoby are 2 really different quarterbacks. So, yeah, it's a little difficult, but, I like the challenge of, kind of having to switch your mind. It keeps you ultra focused in practice, having to switch your mind, say, okay, I know this quarterback is in, so, they probably have this route tree, this, kind of just get a sense of what they're going to do on offense. So, yeah, for me, it's kind of kept me dialed in, and it brings a little bit of a challenge, but, as a whole, it's not too difficult for our back end.
What's the biggest key to playing better on the road?
Maybe I think just approaching it like any other game, really. It seems like when we're at home, it definitely is easier to get into the flow of things as far as, you're bringing your energy like off the rip. We just all understand the mindset that we have as a defense. And, maybe sometimes that gets lost on the road a little bit. You kind of get a day in a hotel, kind of of course, your downtime before the game. So I feel like as long as we just treat it like any other home game, as far as, getting your body ready for the game, getting, your intensity ready for the game, and just being, again, process-oriented, trying to focus on those days before the game to do whatever you can for your body, do whatever you can, just to put yourself in the best spot, come game time. That's all we can do as a team.
Before your last away game, you said you liked playing on the road because you feel like it's a little bit quieter. Is that still the case?
Yeah, and I feel like it's quieter, and I like being the bad guy, like more than, I wouldn't say more than, like the feeling in Lambeau is pretty unique because, it's like no other, getting to play in front of a crowd like that, but at the same time, yeah, I like being a bad guy. I like being a villain. You know, feeling like when you make a play, feeling the crowd just kind of settle down and everybody sit back down in their seats. That gives me, you know, an energy boost, a confidence like no other. So, yeah, I definitely hasn't changed so far, and it's, you know, I don't see it changing anytime soon.